guys, today I'm going to be doing a different video that I haven't done before on this channel, and that is first impressions try on of Primark makeup. I have a full bag here that I went and got in town today, and I'm going to put some of it on my face. We got a little haul. I got this mirror that's now showing you my camera and all, but I needed a new one because mine had died, so that's going in front of me and you can't see it, which is very handy. I also got this brush organizer, which I thought was quite cute. Got all my brushes in there. I also got some pore cleansing strips and a face mask. But what we're really here to see is the makeup, so I bought some new brushes to apply it with, and let's get on into the video. Two things caught my eye when I was walking around the makeup counters that they have in store. One is the PS Instagirl Selfie Ready Blur Primer, and then the other one is the Instagirl Face Perfecting Stick, which is an invisible balm to prime skin, minimise the pores, and yeah, so I just thought these were something a bit different, so I'm going to try this one kind of around my T-zone, and I'm going to see if I can put that one all over my face. So let's open it up. This retails for £5, so that's £16 50p per 100 milligrams. It comes in a little tube like this. I'm going to squeeze some onto the back of my hand. One thing when you go into Primark is that half of the things that you want to buy have been opened, so I had to search around. Right, this is very kind of silicone-y. It has a lot of dimethicone in it, but that's okay because it makes it feel really smooth on the skin, which is what you want if, like me, you have kind of visible pores all over your face. It makes it feel very soft and silky, so no complaints about the way it's applying. I will let you know down in the description box how it wore throughout the day. I think I need a little bit more just to do kind of my forehead. It doesn't have a scent, which I always think is good with face products because I don't want to put a load of perfume on my face if I'm already putting a load of chemicals on my face. Would I say that the skin looks blurred? Actually, on my forehead, I think I probably would. The next product I'm trying is the PS Instagirl Face Perfecting Stick. This retails for £2.50, and it is literally a white stick. You get quite a decent amount of product in it for the price. Very kind of dimethicone-y again, and I think I've just broken it from winding it up, so you might get a D- for the, oh no, there we are. Right, I'm going to kind of apply it like it says. It's a stick, so let's try just applying it like this and see how we do. I'm not a fan of applying things with a stick. I kind of get a bit funny about it because you get like lots of bacteria on your face throughout the day, and then you add this kind of stick over the top. I'm just going to blend that in with my fingers. Looking in the monitor, it's definitely reduced the size of the pores underneath my eyes. I don't think it has on my nose, which is where I have like blackheads and visible pores. But we'll see how it wears and how it keeps the foundation on. I didn't pick up a foundation, but I did pick up a foundation stick, which is because they didn't have the concealers in my shade, which is Porcelain. So I don't want to put that all over my face because, as I've mentioned about sticks, I'm not the biggest fan. But in the spirit of keeping things drugstore, I would like to use the L'Oreal Paris Glam Nude BB Cream, which always wears quite well over the top of my skin. So let's see how it wears over the top of the primers. It comes out white. It's very liquidy, as you can see. I'm just going to dot that over my face like I would any other foundation. I think my skin's quite dry at the moment, so I've not been using kind of matte foundations because I want to keep it hydrated. Just blending this in. This foundation does have a scent. This is the L'Oreal Paris Nude Magique BB cream, but it smells of sun cream, so I don't mind it too much. Looking in my mirror, I am actually pleasantly surprised in how especially the blur stick has filled in my pores around my nose. I thought at first that it hadn't, but it has, so thumbs up for that. I'm going to take the My Perfect Colour PS Moisturising Foundation Stick and use this as a concealer because they didn't have my shade in the store. That wasn't open and I don't want to use an open product. This retails for £2.50 and you get 11 grams of product, which is very good value if it works. I'm going to roll it up a bit and kind of drag it under my eyes in a triangle. It applies really smoothly, which is good. These tend to be quite oily and I have oily combination skin, so that can cause a bit of a problem. I actually think this actually might work as a nice foundation, so maybe I was wrong not to use this as my foundation. I'm just going to blend that in with my brush. It's blending really nicely. Okay, Primark! Good! I'm impressed. It hasn't highlighted any of my dry patches underneath my eyes, which can sometimes happen. It kind of, it says buildable coverage. I wouldn't say as a concealer it's done too much. I mean, you can still kind of see the dark circles, but they're not as pronounced as they were previously. What do you guys think? Is that a pass? It's quite tacky, but it's gone on smoothly. I have a bit of a blemish over here, but it's actually covered it up okay. So that's a thumbs up for me so far, and it matches my neck, which is always difficult. So well done, Primark. My camera seems to be only wanting to record in 5-minute chunks, which I'm going to have to get sorted out. But I have found something else in my bag, and that is the PS Pro HD Translucent Pressed Powder. This retails for £5. I did get it in the sale, so it was £2. Taking it out of the box, it is completely smashed, which is excellent. If you want to repress products, which is really easy, all you need to do is get a little glass jar or something, put a bit of alcohol, a bit like this, in it and mix it together, and it does it really easily. I'm still going to try and use this when it's kind of broken, but you don't have to feel like you must. If you have a broken product, you just take it back to the place and I'm sure they'll swap it for you. Primark do have really nice brushes, but for powders I always go in with my Estee Lauder brushes. It picks up obviously because it's broken, but I'm just going to pop that around my nose. I mean, it's mattifying, so it's doing its job. I would not say that this was translucent. It definitely has kind of a white tinge to it, which is fine for me because I'm pale, but for people with deeper skin tones, even moderately deeper skin tones than myself, it might leave a bit of a grey cast. So watch out for that if you do plan on buying it. I've kind of dusted that all over my face. My eyebrows are kind of semi-done because they don't have any brow products that would even close to match my eyebrows, so I haven't bought one. Really smooth, which are really nice, so maybe the primers work really well, but I will obviously tell you how they were. I've now got a kind of highlighting stick, but because I couldn't find any matte bronzers that weren't absolutely massive and for the skin, sorry, just getting it out of its packaging. This is the bronze highlighting stick, which I'm going to use as bronzer. It's cream, which is going to be interesting. It retailed for £1.50 and it looks a bit like this. I'll do a little swatch on the back of my hand. I don't know how that's going to work. It's kind of shimmery. If you know me, you know that I don't usually go in with shimmery bronzers, but let's give it a go. Just kind of outline. I'm going to kind of contour because they didn't have any contouring products. I was tempted to use like a concealer that's in the deepest shade as a contouring product, but I actually thought that might be too dark for my contour. So, oh well. Okay, so I realised why my camera keeps cutting off, and it's because I'd run out of space. Tut tut, Naomi. I'm going to take a Start Maker's blending brush and kind of buff that around my edges. Oh, okay, this dries really quickly. I should have not waited to free up some space. Oops, I might have dots on my face now. That's not ideal. Let me get the mirror. Okay. Yeah, I've got dots on my face. So, top tip, this, whilst it is a Korean product, you might end up with dots on your face because you're silly like me. I'm gonna try and do this off camera because it might take a while. This is gonna be a pass from me. I'm sure it's really nice if you just blend it out straight away. And it does give like a bronze shimmer, so maybe quite good as a highlighting stick, which is I suppose what it's meant to be, but for a bronzer I don't think it worked very well. So that's going in the bad bin for me. Next up we have something that I'm a little bit excited about because Primark have just released these eyeshadow palettes, and this one is Smokey, and they look so nice. I'll show you. They each have names, which is probably going to reflect really badly on screen, but they're quite interesting colours, and I thought I should give one a go. They're only, I think, £3? No, £4. Okay, they're £4 to take off the kind of name sheet somehow. Yeah, there we are. It doesn't want to come off, but it has to. The name sheet here, and I'm going to read out the names. We have this pale shade here. This pale shade here is called Conclave. Then we have Winter Mist, Eventide, Smoulder, and then we have Leaded Lights or Leaded Lights, I'm not quite sure. Midnight Velvet, Fire Pit, Blood Magic, Grey Wind and Darkness. I really love greens, so that's what we're going to do today. I actually purchased this little brush here to do my eyeshadow today. This is the eye contour brush. They have loads of brushes, but I thought this one is clearly meant to be looking like Real Techniques, and this was £1, so I thought I might as well pick one up and try. I have a really nice transition shade here, which is the shade Smoulder, and so I'm going to take that into the crease of my eye. There is likely to be quite a lot of fallout on these shadows. There usually are with Primark ones in my experience. That's blended quite nicely. It's not patchy. And I didn't pick up a ton of product, and I didn't get any fallout down here, which is always a plus for me. blending really nicely. They're not patchy. I've not got any fallout down here. I'm just tapping into the same colour and buffing up my crease. I'm going to do quite a quick and simple eye look, just to try and kind of test out the shadows. So that is my kind of crease colour. I'm going to take a slightly deeper colour. This colour that I'm now taking is called Eventide, and it is this colour right here. Kind of a chocolatey brown. And I'm going to take that in my inner corner. These are pigmented, which is not something I expected from kind of Primark shadows, but they are actually blending really nicely. One thing I will say is the packaging is, I don't want to say copying because that's not fair, but it's very similar to the Urban Decay Smokey Palette, and I know they had Minerals eyeshadow palette as well, but this one with the green shade and everything, I just thought this one kind of appealed to me the most. Okay, they have blended out really nicely. I'm just going to run that first colour that we took down underneath my lash line to kind of join up the two. That's gone really well, I'm impressed. I'm now going to take a flat Start Maker's blending brush as per, and I'm going to go into Leaded or Leaded Lights, however you are meant to say it. And that is that green shade right here. And I'm going to take that all over the lid. This brush is dry because I want to see how the shadows perform when they're dry. I'm actually going to wet the brush because they're not showing up as much as I might like. So I'm just going to dampen my brush. Okay, now the brush is dampened. Go back into the same colour. That's much better. It really picks it up much better. Just packing it onto the eye. Trying not to swipe because it moves around too much of the shadows. These shimmers, usually it's the shimmers that are the easiest to do, but actually in my opinion the mattes seem to be working better than the shimmers, dare I say it. That is what this eye looks like. Don't worry about the edges at the moment, I shall blend those out soon. Smoky eyes are not something I do very often, so I don't really know what I will do personally with these two dark matte shades, but I'm sure for some of you that's kind of a staple in your collection. I think I might be a bit daring now and actually take that blue shade and take it kind of in the inner corner here. Looks a bit kind of daring, I know. Sorry, this shade is called Midnight Velvet, and it's this one here. Me playing with kind of blues and stuff, because I have brown, like greeny eyes, it kind of reminds me of someone from like their capital in the Hunger Games. I hope I'm not the only one that feels like that with brown eyes and blue shadows. I did promise you a bit more colour. This probably isn't what you had in mind. I'm going to take this little kind of soft blending brush, or whatever you'd like to call it, from Start Makers, and I'm going to go into this bright highlighting shade here, which is called Conclave, and I'm just going to take that in the inner corner. Okay, that's my eye look done. I know it's a very quick one, but for the time being that's what we're going to do with the shadows. My eyebrows are looking a bit wayward today. I didn't pick up a mascara because I didn't really want to. basically. I don't really get on with quite a lot of mascaras. They can really hurt my eyes, and no shade to Primark, but everything's obviously very, very affordable, and I'm not always so good with some of the products that get put in mascaras. So I'm going to apply Benefit Roller Lash off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, I have applied my mascara and now we are going to do some blusher off camera again because I didn't buy one because there wasn't one. There are certain things in Primark that they didn't have. I don't know if that's just my store because it isn't like a massive one. They didn't have blush, they didn't have like a powder bronzer, they didn't have a concealer stick in my shade or a foundation in my shade apart from a stick foundation. They didn't have any brow products that were in remotely my shade, and they didn't have a highlighter. Now on to lips. I picked up 3 lip products. I got one metallic matte lip crayon and that is in the shade, I have no idea, 24 Carat Dip. I'll give you a swatch on the back of my hand. It's kind of orangey. It's more orangey than it looks in the packaging. And then I got a lip liner in the shade Rosewood Mauve and that was £1. And I got a super matte liquid lipstick which I have in a different shade, but I thought this matched the liner quite well, and this one is in the shade Kendall. So what I thought I would do is I would try the metal matte first and then line my lips and put a matte lipstick on. Oh wow. That's really creamy. It smells of rose. What's it called? 24 Carat Dark Dip. It smells of Turkish Delight. This is it on my lips. It isn't transfer proof, but it does actually look really pretty. Very comfortable, very creamy. Not drying, obviously. I recommend this, especially if you like Turkish Delight. Okay, this lip liner, which I've just unwrapped, was £1. It is the shade Rosewood Mauve, I believe. Yes. These aren't retractable, even though they look like it, and even though the bottom kind of moves around, so I don't actually know how much usable product you get. But I'm just going to take my mirror and I'm going to line my lips. Primark's lip liners are always really creamy, and it's gone on really nicely and evenly. So that is my lips lined. I actually think the colour is very pretty and it went on very creamily, so wasn't difficult to apply at all. These have very, very big doe foot applicators, if I remember, and I do. I'm going to take my mirror again. I'm not very good. Oh, okay. The liner does not match, even though I thought it would from the bottle. So I'm now just trying to blend the two together. Which I did quite a good job of there. I do really like the super matte formula, not so much in winter because obviously your lips are very dry, but in summer definitely. So this is my finished look. I'm going to go out now, but I will check that in down the comments. Thank you for watching, give me a thumbs up, hit like, subscribe and leave a comment down below, and I love you all very much.